I woke up with a pounding heart, drenched in cold sweat. The remnants of a terrifying nightmare clung to my thoughts like a dark fog. Shaking off the fear, I tried to steady my breathing and convince myself it was just a dream. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. As I glanced around my room, a sense of unease settled upon me. The familiar shadows that danced on the walls felt sinister, and every creak and groan of the old house seemed amplified. It was as if the very air had thickened with an otherworldly presence. Determined to shake off my apprehension, I decided to investigate. I grabbed a flashlight from my bedside table and cautiously stepped into the hallway. The wooden floorboards creaked beneath my weight, echoing through the silent house. Each step heightened my anxiety, as if I were being watched from the dark corners. I made my way downstairs, the musty smell of aged furniture filling the air. The dim glow of the flashlight cast eerie shadows along the walls, and every sound seemed magnified in the stillness. As I reached the bottom of the staircase, a sudden draft sent a chill down my spine. The front door stood slightly ajar, its rusty hinges creaking softly. Heart pounding, I pushed the door open wider, revealing the pitch-black night outside. An ominous wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it a haunting melody that sent shivers down my spine. A feeling of dread washed over me, but curiosity compelled me to venture into the darkness. The moonlight cast an ethereal glow over the landscape, illuminating a path that led me deeper into the forest. With every step, the branches seemed to reach out, clawing at my skin, and the wind whispered unintelligible words in my ear. A primal fear gripped me, but an invisible force pushed me forward. As I delved deeper into the woods, the atmosphere grew heavier. Strange symbols etched into the trees caught my eye, emanating an eerie energy that made my skin crawl. Unsettled, I quickened my pace, desperate to escape the clutches of the unknown. Suddenly, I stumbled upon a decrepit cabin hidden among the trees. Its weathered boards groaned in protest as I pushed the door open. The interior was shrouded in darkness, save for a flickering candle at the far end of the room. Shadows danced ominously along the walls, and the air reeked of decay. Summoning my courage, I cautiously approached the candle, but as I reached out to touch it, the flame flickered and died, plunging the cabin into complete darkness. Panic gripped me, and I fumbled for the flashlight, praying it would provide a glimmer of hope. With a click, the flashlight illuminated the room, revealing a grotesque scene. The walls were adorned with macabre paintings, depicting monstrous creatures and twisted figures. The floor was littered with decaying bones and ancient artifacts, their origins lost to time. And in the corner, I saw it, a mirror, seemingly untouched by age. Unable to resist its pull, I slowly made my way toward the mirror. But as I looked into its depths, my reflection twisted and contorted into something grotesque. A creature that wore my face but exuded pure malevolence. Its eyes gleamed with a sinister intelligence, and a wicked grin spread across its distorted features. Terror consumed me as I realized the truth. I had unwittingly crossed into a realm where nightmares became reality. My desperate screams echoed through the cabin, but they fell on deaf ears. Trapped in this nightmarish dimension, I knew that my struggle for survival had only just begun. And so, dear reader, if you ever stumble upon a forgotten cabin in the heart of a dark forest, heed my warning. Some nightmares are far more real than we dare to imagine. The wind howled outside, its eerie wails penetrating through the cracks in the old, dilapidated house. I shivered, wrapping my arms tightly around myself as I sat alone in the dimly lit living room. The flickering candle on the coffee table provided the only source of light, casting long, dancing shadows that seemed to whisper malevolently in the corners of the room. I had always been fascinated by the paranormal, drawn to the mysteries and thrills it promised. Tonight, however, my fascination had turned into a nightmare. I had stumbled upon an ancient artifact, a cursed necklace, during my exploration of an abandoned graveyard earlier that day. Little did I know that this innocuous piece of jewelry would unleash a horror I could never have imagined. As the clock struck midnight, a sudden chill enveloped the room, causing the flames of the candle to quiver in fear. A sense of unease settled over me, and the air became heavy with an otherworldly presence. My heart raced, and I felt a wave of dread wash over me. I knew then that I was not alone. Whispered voices began to fill the room, indistinguishable murmurs that seemed to come from all directions at once. Shadows danced and swirled, contorting into grotesque shapes that writhed with a lee.